your forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
We'll take a look at the Storm Tracker Doppler, and a couple of areas seeing some light shower activity. We zoom down into southern portions of Edgar County, just south of Paris, and then down here into portions of Clark County from near Casey over to Marshall along I-70. Some very light rain showing up, but elsewhere, not a whole lot. And all of this is pushing off into Indiana at this point. Now, temperatures today, because of a little bit more cloud cover, a little bit cooler, 78 in Effingham, 82 in Champaign, a little warmer in Springfield at 85 degrees. Another night, we will see temperatures slip back down to the 60s for overnight lows, but nothing like what we had last night with all of that torrential rainfall, all that thunder and lightning. None of that here for tonight, but we could see a few storms tomorrow. We'll talk about that in the rest of your weekend forecast when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
That pandemic of racism and discrimination that killed George Floyd.
His death sparked a revolution. Today, his life is being remembered.
Let's call it what they are. Those are very racist comments.
A Central Illinois lawmaker is facing backlash for something his brother wrote on social media. What he said that has other lawmakers calling for action. And a former teacher and coach is facing child sex charges. What officials say he's linked to.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
Go on home, George. Get your rest, George. You changed the world, George. We're going to keep marching, George.
As countless protesters march across the world, Minneapolis took its first step toward healing. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Today, family, friends, and civil rights leaders paid tribute to George Floyd. He was killed last week at the hands of 4 Minneapolis police officers. The Reverend Al Sharpton eulogized Floyd's life. The Houston-raised father of 2 was remembered as being a people person. His family says anyone who met the 6'4" tall man knew him as a gentle giant. And they said even though they didn't have a lot, Floyd knew how to make people feel special.
All these people came to see my brother, and that's amazing to me that he touched so many people's hearts.
When he would wrap his arms around you, you would just feel like, everything could just go away.
Just blocks away from the service, a judge set bail at $750,000 apiece for these 3 fired police officers charged with aiding and abetting in the killing. And former officer Derek Chauvin is now charged with 2nd-degree murder and 2nd-degree manslaughter. Community leaders in Illinois are responding to comments a state representative's brother put on social media.
If you're being a coward and you have to put it on social media and you can't confront those individuals that you truly have a problem with, then you have a problem with yourself.
Brad Halbrook represents the 102nd District that covers parts of central Illinois. His brother Brian Halbrook is in hot water after making disparaging comments about African Americans on Facebook. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Franklin has more.
Let's call it what they are. Those are very racist comments and should be condemned by everyone and not condoned by anyone.
Disappointment and outrage are coming in from around the state after comments from Brian Halbrook surfaced on Facebook. A Facebook user wrote, "Baiting is illegal in the state," to which Halbrook responded, quote, "That's why you can't hunt him in a watermelon patch either." His brother, Representative Brad Halbrook, is a member of a group known as the Eastern Bloc. Members of the group have called for Chicago to become its own state and filed a lawsuit against the governor's stay-at-home order. Halbrook says his brother's comments do not reflect his views, saying in a statement, "I've had some conversations with my brother about his social media post, and I've expressed my deep concerns about the nature of those comments to him. Having said that, he is a private citizen and not an elected official. Unfortunately, because I'm his brother and I hold an elected office, he has become a target." Representative Chris Welch says Brad Halbrook's behavior in recent years has not been conducive to the social climate in the state.
As elected officials in our respective communities, we have a voice. People look to us to set the tone. And Representative Halbrook has been very divisive in his rhetoric to divide the state and many of the policies that he is proposing.
Reporting in Springfield, Gabrielle Franklin.
Now, Holbrook's brother was the vice chairman on Shelby Electric Cooperative's board. The company just told us he resigned effective immediately. And the state chapter of the NAACP chimed in with a message for the lawmaker. Hopefully he will have a real conversation with his brother because he's here to represent all citizens, especially those in his district. And the last thing we need is someone inciting a riot or racism. Some state lawmakers are calling for a return to Springfield. They want a special session to start talking about fixes to problems highlighted by protests across the country. WCIA3's Cole Hankey talked to one of the lawmakers today.
3 Illinois representatives called for the legislature to come back for a special session to deal with the issues highlighted by protests across the country. Representatives Cam Buckner, Curtis Tarver II, and Lamont Robinson sent letters to the legislative leaders asking them to call for a return to Springfield.
Why does this time feel different? This time feels different because it feels like people are, for once, I think people are actually listening, but it also feels like the people who are talking are going to refuse to back down.
Lawmakers already returned to Springfield once during the pandemic to wrap up the budget and provide relief for those affected by COVID. But Buckner said that the conversations can't wait until November.
We're at an inflection point, and we've got to make a choice. Do we sit around and wait for the next thing to happen, or are we going to lead? Are we going to be out front and, lead the charge on this?
The call from the representatives got some response from leaders in the Capitol. Senate President Don Harmon's office issued a statement in response to the call. The spokesperson said President Harmon has been contacting caucus members and is eager to engage in building an agenda for action. The governor's office also issued a statement saying that the governor would support the legislative leaders if they chose to return to the Capitol. Buckner said the issues he would like to see addressed during the session don't stop at changing policy for law enforcement. He also wants to tackle other embedded social issues that oppress black people in the state.
Those things around us, that web or that network around us, are the things that really decide whether we are able to live a quality life or not. And so I think that's important. And those are the type of things that I would like to see the General Assembly address in a meaningful way.
Reporting in Springfield, I'm Cole Hankey, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Buckner says he hasn't heard a response back from Speaker Madigan's office on if he would support a legislative session. We reached out to a spokesperson for the Speaker, didn't get a response. Buckner did say he got support from fellow lawmakers on both sides of the aisle. A federal grand jury has indicted a former PE teacher at University High School in Urbana. 56-year-old Douglas Minot also coached girls cross country. He's charged with distribution and possession of child pornography. Police say Minot used an instant messaging app for the crime. Officials say the content was traced back to IP addresses from his home in Savoy and at the U of I. If convicted, he faces up to 20 years in prison. And a grand jury has also indicted 2 men in separate cases involving child sex crimes. Officials say 55-year-old James Russian of Tuscola used social media to try to solicit sex with an 8-year-old girl. He was really talking to an FBI agent who was acting as an adult who said they had access to the child. And 45-year-old Caleb Hickman from Indiana was arrested for trying to get a 14-year-old to travel from Champaign to South Bend. Hickman was also talking to an undercover FBI agent. An 84-year-old man is dead after he was hit by a car in Shelbyville. It happened near Route 16 and 2008 East Road this morning. State police say a 25-year-old man was driving on Route 16 when the senior citizen went into the road to get his mail. A car hit him and died. The driver wasn't hurt. People across the world are calling for change after what happened in Minneapolis. How coaches in Central Illinois are leading the way. And also tonight.
It's time for somebody else to move up and let them have a chance at it, so that's what I'm doing.
Well, Bill, thank you so much.
It's a voice in Central Illinois you may know when you'll hear it for the last time over the radio waves.
A lot of rainfall across the area last night. Take a look at this picture of a rain gauge down in Savoy. Ed sent this one over to us. You can see over 4.5 inches of rain. A lot of that fell in just about a couple of hours period. Outside tonight, much calmer. As a recap today, 81 and 65. All right, we've got a little bit of rain to talk about. The heat and also impacts from a tropical system here in Central Illinois coming up.